Hillary Clinton blamed the victim. Number 101 when you're dealing with rape cases, don't blame the victim. She blamed a 12-year-old girl, a 6th grade 12-year-old girl, of seeking the attention of older men and fantasizing about being with older men. There is audio.
Wait, we haven't corroborated any of this, so, I mean, I just think you should be very...
It's widely reported. It's widely reported.
Widely reported. So is the National Enquirer. Widely reported.
We
reported
can go.
Doesn't mean anything. It's not on this network, I would point out.
Clinton wrote of the victim, "I have been informed that the complainant is emotionally unstable with a tendency to seek out older men and engage in fantasizing."
Today, we are going to take a look at some of the evidence that CNN cares less about truth than they do about ratings. First, I would like to show you this image showing CNN stories a day apart from back in June. And with the American Pravda videos out showing CNN as a tabloid media organization with more credibility than they deserve, quite frankly, I felt it was appropriate to document in video format some of the lies that CNN has told over the past year. A bit of a chronicalization of their propaganda. CNN had a reputation of cutting off people when they would mention WikiLeaks or portrayed Hillary Clinton in a bad light. On July 13th, 2016, Breonna Keller was being interviewed by John Berman and gave this interview.
But largely, Hillary Clinton's comments here today, John, were based around the recent violence that we have seen, the police-involved shootings of black men in Minnesota, in Louisiana, and then the killing of white police officers by a black gunman in Dallas. That was really what she based her comments on around today. And remember, Hillary Clinton has some vulnerabilities herself, even as she calls for criminal justice reform because of her support in the 1990s for anti-crime legislation that ultimately helped contribute to this era of mass incarceration that she now speaks out again.
We just lost Breonna Keeler, who was in Springfield, Illinois, where Hillary Clinton just spoke. You heard Hillary Clinton was talking about race relations, also talking about Donald Trump, two things she will continue to talk about, I think, for the remainder of this election, just as he talks about her for the remainder of this election. We'll get back to that in just a moment. First, I want to share.
Oh, no. All right, let's see if we can get Congressman Collins back. Obviously, we just lost his satellite feed. That sucks.
On August 1st, 2016, a CNN reporter was caught misrepresenting a Hillary Clinton crowd size, as you can see from these images right here. They're basically cropping out the photo to make it look more crowded, which is amusing because compare this to some of the Trump rallies I saw going around during election season. Those things look like they filled stadiums. Then the following day, they felt it more appropriate to cover Donald Trump's choice of cutlery than an actual toxic gas attack in Syria. Oh, and God forbid if one of those knives was made in Russia. Then we'd be hearing about it year-round. In August 21st, 2016, in an attempt to paint Trump as a racist, CNN equates African Americans with felons. There seems to be a consistent theme of CNN falling on their face after doing everything they can to take a cheap shot at Donald Trump. And they should be better than that. They really should be. On August 10th, 2016, CNN reported Secret Service spoke to Trump campaign about Second Amendment comment. A U.S. Secret Service official confirms to CNN that the USSS has spoken to the Trump campaign regarding his Second Amendment comments. There has been more than one conversation on the topic, the official told CNN. The campaign told USSS Donald Trump did not intend to incite violence. The controversy erupted on Tuesday afternoon when Trump said in a rally that Second Amendment defenders might be able to stop Clinton from appointing justices to the Supreme Court who could weaken gun rights. However, RT came out with an article, CNN story a hoax. Secret Service held no formal talks with Trump over Second Amendment remarks. And then Reuters also did an article, official, no formal Secret Service discussions with Trump. On August 29th, 2016, CNN reported on one of Donald Trump's tweets. Donald Trump said, "I think that both candidates, Crooked Hillary and myself, should release detailed medical records. I have no problem in doing so, Hillary." Well, their version of the tweet was word for word, except for the word crooked. It said, "I think that both candidates, Hillary and myself," as opposed to, "I think that both candidates, Crooked Hillary and myself." And this was reported by both the Washington Times and Fox News. So that's something to consider. On August 31st, 2016, a man who had saved a baby from a hot car was being interviewed on HLN, which is a sister network of CNN. Well, the man wore a Trump shirt, and seeing as a person who was being portrayed as a hero on their network, was also wearing a shirt that endorsed a candidate they did not like. They blurred out Trump on his shirt. It's just mind-blowing, right? I didn't even hear about this one, actually. But it's pretty scantless, to say the least. On September 17th, 2016, CNN edits out Clinton's use of the word bomb to describe the New York explosion from around that time, but then goes on to attack Trump for using the word bomb. Interestingly, though, The Hill accuses Trump of quickly calling New York explosion a bomb without confirmation, and then also reporting on CNN editing out Clinton's reference to the New York explosion as a bombing. So, interesting to keep that in mind as well. CNN is far from the only dishonest, massive news corporation out there. They're just the one under the microscope right now. Well, that'll be it for now, but I do plan on doing more videos going over all of the dishonest things we have seen from CNN, specifically over the last year. So let me know what you think in the comments section.
Oh no, that sucks.